garage. I'm out here with baby Yota trying to get this motor back together, and let me tell you, the struggle is real. It is very difficult. I've been just like pulling my hair out trying to figure out where all these pieces and parts and everything go, and I kept wondering how come this is so much more difficult than in the past, because I've put on heads on 22Rs and done everything else on them in the intake, taking it off. And the reason is because when I took this apart, I took every piece apart, I powder coated a bunch of it, I cleaned up every individual piece, and now trying to figure out where every individual piece goes is much more difficult than, say, when the hose is still connected and you can kind of look at it and go, yeah, that one goes there, this one goes here. So I'm filtering my way through it. The coolant hoses that are around the throttle body, all that, I'm trying to figure exactly where it goes to. So that's really kind of stumped me up a little bit. But let's take a look at where I'm at. I am going to get this thing running, I promise. Taking off a little of the chill. This thing will warm it up here in short order. And actually the propane lasts quite a while, to tell you the truth. So I'll warm it up and then I'm going to start on working on the Yota. Alright, the injector saga. I got some new caps and washers for it because they've been sitting on there a while, and I will put these on. I got a spindle cap for one of these, and they'll be ready to install, and then I can start trying to cipher through. I'll be honest with you, when it sits for this long, I've really struggled with what parts go where and all the wiring and the hoses. I actually went back and printed out some diagrams of parts. And it's not like I don't remember what parts they are, but I printed all this out to let me refresh my old memory on where the parts go. So that's what I'm working on right now. Get the injectors in, and then I can start working backwards, getting everything put back on as far as the intake goes. And once this thing is running, we're off to the races. Tonight I did get the injectors installed. Super awesome. And I went ahead and painted this one little strip across the front here. Man, that's shiny. With some Speedocoat clear and some YZ Ford paint, which is very similar to the Toyota white color that was this year. And I've got so much of that left over, I just went ahead and used it. And gonna let this dry and then start putting everything back together on the motor, getting this baby purring again. Hopefully get it purring again, and then I can move it in and out to do wet sanding and whatever else I need to. But the propane heater I have is 30,000 BTUs, and it really does heat up this little shop area real well. It brought it up 15 degrees in no time. So when I need something to dry pretty quick, I went ahead and hit that. But I think this looks great. Tomorrow I'll be back and start trying to cipher out all the vacuum lines and the EGR delete and everything else that I started on years ago. Man, I tell you, there is a lot of parts that I have to assemble. Good Lord. It looks great. This part, I can go ahead and tuck this wiring. One reason is I want to get this tucked up there and be able to put the radiator in, everything in the front, and then work my way back. Probably take off a wheel and get one of the tires put on from my buddy Nick at C&F Tire. Get it mounted up, because they actually do. I really like the looks of those. They'll probably be noisy as crap, but tonight I'm going to put a fork in it. Alright, just a little tedious crap going on here. I cut this wire when I took everything off, so I had to solder. I actually put a little extra length in there to make it easier to solder together. And so that's ready to go on. So I'm almost ready to put on the intake. I got a couple hoses to hook up here, water hoses, and look at the fuel rail, see if I can find the bolt for that. But getting closer. Well, I got the wiring done, and I just feel better overall. This one little part that I painted yesterday just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy because it looks great, and I love that color. Compared to the yellow that was going to be up there, it's looking great. So awesome. I've been reading at night as far as like where all these hoses go and stuff, so I'm getting where I'll feel comfortable putting everything back together and start doing some body work on like the cab, getting it cut in. But the main thing is I want to hear this little Yota run. She is looking much more complete and beautiful, I might say, truthfully. I've got the exhaust about ready to go on. I've got to put these, I shouldn't have probably put that on yet. It's all these hoses that go up in here that I need to figure out where they go, and also, where are they? And also what I did with them. So I know I've got this radiator bypass hose, these on the IAC valve, and then with the EGR delete, I've got to kind of figure out which ones I'm going to use and which ones I'm not going to use. I dropped it. I had to get another fitting here, but it's really starting to look fairly complete. So anyway, I'm continuing on looking at diagrams, searching the internet, trying to figure out where everything goes. Yuck. Figured out all the coolant lines are going to throttle body, and then all snaking around over to the idle air control valve. I don't have those lines, the air lines I haven't quite figured out exactly where they go, but as far as like coolant lines are all done, so that's good. I cleaned off this area so I can go ahead and paint this, because at least I can make a little bit of progress on the painting, right? This section here I can paint and then get the rest of it done, but I would really love to have this part finished up painted so I can put the windshield washer motor back on, work on vacuum lines, everything else, then work backwards towards the cab. But yeah, so that was a pain in the butt trying to figure out where all those lines went. Not any fun at all, but it looks good. I'm happy with it. All right, beautiful. Got some white paint on there. I think it looks great. That's the YZ Ford paint. I had left over. I bought another gallon of it. So this isn't very critical, to tell you the truth, but I did want to be able to bolt up the vacuum lines and get everything cleaned up on the engine compartment. So yeah, I love this color. It should turn out just about like a factory finish. I'm using the Speedo Coat, National Rules Speedo Line Clear. Available on Amazon, link down below. For a small price, you get a great finish. So that's what we're clear coating with. Looking good. There's a lot of clear on that. And this isn't really that critical. I mean, the only time you're going to see it is when the hood's open, and then you got a valance panel that goes on top of it. So you're going to see that one edge facing you. In the past, what I would do is go ahead and start yanking paper off and get it into the paint, and then be pissed off because I screwed it up. So I'm going to let it sit overnight, and then we're going to come back tomorrow. I got to look for a couple hoses at home. Getting close to getting this thing fired back up. All right, I pulled all the paper off, and it looks beautiful behind the motor. Hopefully I can get all the little stuff figured out and see if it'll crank up. I don't know if it'll be today or not. Before I put the radiator in, I've got some new clips coming in from Amazon, which were supposed to be here yesterday, but they're not. That have the little, it has a zip tie with a push pin in it that goes up here. So, and I gotta remember where the condenser went on it. I don't know, shoot. But can I get this thing running after 4 years of sitting? That's the question. I think I can. I still have to hook up. Let's see, I think this goes over here, actually. I still have to hook up the cold start air injector that goes here to here. And I actually have a fitting coming from LCE Engineering that has a pressure gauge on there, so it'll actually tell you what your pressure is from this rail. The fuel pressure regulator is on but not hooked up to any vacuum. I got the idle air control, all the hoses hooked up to that except for the front one, which doesn't matter. Got to figure out where this goes, this goes. These can get capped off for now. That's your idle adjustment screw. Oil, valve cover, cap, rotor, plugs, exhaust. Yeah, I don't have much to do. Holy moly. Man, there's a lot of piece parts that you got to put back on this when you take everything off. I am missing one component that's kind of critical, and it's the air injector banjo line that goes from the fuel rail up to the cold start injector. So I want to say it's back on the bench at home, but I don't know. I'm still ciphering out some of the vacuum lines. So far so good, but today it is not going to be running. Best laid plans of mice and men. Got the exhaust put back on, plugs put in, vacuum lines for this power steering. Idle up for the air conditioning has to be put on. She's almost ready to start. Radiator, like I said, I'm waiting for the connectors for that before I put the radiator in. So getting very close. After 4 years, the progress I've made in the past couple days, I'm pretty happy with that. And I just keep getting deeper and deeper in this. I started trying to get this headliner, and it was in such bad shape I went ahead and took it out, and I'm gonna have to get a new one. I think they're like $300, 200, 250, I don't know. But it was so dry rotted at the edges and it was not able to come off, so went ahead and removed it. I'm gonna look into getting a new one because it's just crappy. So awesome. There was actually wasp nests up inside underneath the headliner. You can see it right there. Nice. So anyway, that'll give me an easier way to cut all that in. I'm excited. And then get one of these ordered. Well, it's warm and I don't have the engine parts I need. I guess I'll go ahead and get this prepped for paint on the cab. Again, I painted it once with this kind of a whitish yellowish paint, and that's going away. So awesome. I'm excited. Ugh. Randy's here.
Yeah.
Big lazy what?
Well, I've been up since before.
I've been up since 6.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you know.
But I've been in church 2 services and finally just got out of the.
You're churched out, is what you're saying. He's just churched out.
I left there at 3 o'clock. I'm ready to go home.
I've been at the pew of the 88 Toyota.
You're at the Mattress Methodist.
That's right. No, I've been working, and it's we had to go back an hour or so, and I'm still jumping around like a old man. So what's new and exciting? Anything quick?
No, we had Roy Band show, the last one of the year, last night, and you didn't come.
Last one of the year?
Yeah. They're
not going to do it in December, November, any of that?
No, but we are doing a wedding on December 22nd somewhere.
For deaf people? What? Oh, never mind. All right, he won't even get out and have a beer with me.
No,
it's just
I'm gonna go home. Huh? I got leaves to blow.
Oh, yeah, you blow all right. Oh, that was too easy.
That was low hanging fruit.
That was too easy. All right, bye, Randy.
Bye.
Cleaned off the brake booster, getting it ready to paint. Everything else is looking pretty good except for now the headliner, which now I've destroyed. Is this in focus? Is this in focus? Man, it's been a long day with the Toyota. Couldn't find a cold start injector line. Destroyed the headliner. That's awesome. Did get the inside of the cab prepped for paint. Got a bunch of stuff hooked up as far as the engine goes. So once I get that one part in, I'm going to continue on. I'm looking at buying the headliners. You know what those stupid things cost? Like $300, $320. Found a used one for $200, and he may not sell it to me for that. So anyway, I think I need to go into the headliner business. If I thought there was a bunch of 86, 87, 88 Toyota headliners being sold, I would contact some friends in China and say, hey, start selling these up for me, but I don't think there's that many that are sold. So anyway, that's where I'm going to end the video tonight. Going to shoot the inside of the cab, and then that kind of allows me to start doing some finishing work. Love to get the cab painted, but more than that, I'd love to get it running. So this week, it will be running. Next video will be, I think, firing it up. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed once I get the pieces in that I need. Any questions or comments, post them below. Little Yota is going to look beautiful, even though I got to pay $300 for a headliner. Really? Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you being a subscriber. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.